It's Tim from asHewalks. Recently I had an amazing opportunity, just last minute. Something came through my Facebook. It said, Tim, a guy you didn't even know, I want you to come to Colombia and preach in high schools and in outreaches and whatever. And I just knew it was a God opportunity, and within the week God just provided the money, the means to go, and so I went. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll realize that that's really in Colombia that I started the Instagram account, and it was really just to kind of keep track of all the things I was seeing God do. It was so fun and a lot of exciting things. So I'm going to do some other videos and talk to you about some of the stuff I saw and some of the things that I learned in Colombia. But I wanted to, really the first one, to do one of the most coolest things really of my life, but one of the most exciting things of the trip happened when I ended up at this university. And I wasn't supposed to be at this university. Actually, I was walking into the hotel and everyone was walking out and said, "Where are you going?" "We're going to the university." I said, "Okay, I'll come with you." And someone else was supposed to speak, but God had actually been speaking to me in my heart about when I was at a university, I saw myself preaching and I saw myself doing what I'm about to show you in this video. And so I want to, this is called the Belief System Challenge, and I'm going to actually kind of link it up with a blog that I've written on belief systems, just because they're two different mediums, so they'll give you kind of two different angles on these things. But hopefully this will maybe challenge your belief system, but also just show you how cool God is and how much fun He likes to have. So here's the deal. I ended up on this university campus. I knew nothing about university, nothing about what we were there to do, and we were just in an open area where people were kind of studying and hanging out. And I thought, oh man, we got to now tell them about Jesus. With how is this, you know, they're here to study or hang out with friends. And so the event started. We had some pretty amazing break dancers. I've seen a lot of, my wife's a hip-hop dancer, and I quite like break dancing. These guys were awesome. They were just doing some stuff. A guy slid on his forehead, honestly, just on his head for like 5 feet. And anyway, it did the trick. It gathered a big crowd and got people interested. But someone else was supposed to speak, but I just knew in my heart I was supposed to speak. But I just let God be God, and all of a sudden that person chased me down and said, "Tim, you're supposed to speak." Basically, gave me the mic, threw me out there. I went in the middle of all these people, and I didn't even have my translator yet. I looked for my translator, and then I just launched into what God had shown me to do, and here it is right now.
I want somebody that has pain in their body.
Yo quisiera que alguien que tenga algún tipo de dolor en su cuerpo.
And I want you just to put up your hand.
Levante la mano y venga.
Come on, hermano, yes. Okay, and I want you to tell me how bad is the pain.
Yo quiero que me digas cuánto te duele.
0 being no pain and 10 being a lot of
0 siendo ningún dolor y 10 siendo el máximo dolor.
¿Por
dónde está el dolor? ¿Cuál es el número?
7.
Como 7.
Excelente.
Un dolor en 7.
That's a lot of pain.
Eso es mucho dolor.
Okay, now promise me.
Ahora prométeme.
Tell these people that we have never met before.
Dile a esta gente que tú y yo no nos conocemos.
Is that true? That's right. You've never seen my white
Tú nunca me has visto en tu vida.
In your life.
En tu vida nunca me has visto.
Does anybody else here know this man?
¿Alguien aquí lo conoce a él?
Okay.
Sí, ya.
Does he tell lies or does he tell truth?
¿Él es mentiroso o dice la verdad?
Which? Truth?
¿Es verdad?
Sometimes, okay.
A veces, está bien, está bien.
Okay, now I have another question.
Tengo otra pregunta para ti.
Do you believe that if I put my hand on you, your pain will start to go away?
¿Crees tú que si yo te pongo las manos y cuando te pongo las manos el dolor va a comenzar a disminuir? ¿Lo crees sí o no? Honestamente. Dice tal vez. Puede ser.
You won't hurt my feelings.
No vas a lastimar mis sentimientos.
It's actually better if you don't believe me.
Es mejor incluso si no crees.
What do you think? He'll say, okay, so
Él dice, está bien, yo voy a creer.
I'm a believer.
Así que tenemos un creyente,
A step of faith.
un hombre que va a dar un paso de fe.
How many of you believe that by putting my hand on his thumb that the pain will go away?
¿Cuántos creen aquí que si yo le pongo las manos encima a él, su dolor se va a desaparecer?
You don't have to.
Usted no tiene que creerlo.
But if you don't believe that I can take his pain away, put up your hand.
Y si usted no lo cree, mejor levante la mano.
Just tell me if you start to feel something different.
Pero tú me puedes decir si comienzas a sentir algo diferente.
And I want you to be honest. Promise
Quiero
you
que
to be
seas
honest.
honesto. Por favor, prométeme
I
ser
don't want
honesto.
any lies.
No quiero mentiras.
You said you have a pain that's 7.
Dijiste que era un dolor en
Do
7.
you feel something happening in your thumb?
¿Sientes algo diferente pasando en tu dedo?
That's okay. I said
No
just be
pasa
honest.
nada. Siente su dedo normal.
Do you feel, okay, and now watch this. Okay, now I want you to look for your pain and tell me where your
Ahora
pain is.
busca tu dolor, dime si está o no está.
My God! Tell him, tell him.
No tiene ningún dolor. Un aplauso.
Look hard, you're being
Busca,
honest.
busca, hazte lo que tú quieras.
Look
No hay problema.
hard.
Busca ese dolor.
Where did you go?
Dile, hey, búscalo, se fue.
Hey, thank you.
Chévere. Tremendo. Oh my.
Now you be honest.
Ahora ustedes sean honestos.
How many of you thought I actually could take away his pain?
¿Cuántos realmente pensaron que su dolor iba a desaparecer?
Oh, only a few. That's good.
Solo algunos. Ah, eso está bien.
I want to tell you something.
Pero les voy a contar algo.
Do you want to know how I did that?
¿Quieren saber cómo yo hice eso?
I'm going to ask that you're quiet for a moment.
Yo les voy a pedir que por favor presten atención en este momento.
I told you we all have a belief system.
Yo les dije que todos tenemos un sistema de creencias.
And some of you didn't believe that someone could just put their hand on pain and it goes away.
Y algunos no creían que podía yo llevarme su dolor con ponerle las manos.
But you just saw that I put my hand on him and pain went away.
Pero acabando.
Wasn't that awesome? I love that. And I know I can say that because I'm not in any of these videos, anything I'm talking about. This isn't about me. This isn't the Tim show. This is all about Jesus, and it's who God is and what he's doing. So I have no problem saying that was an amazing time and that was amazing what happened. And here's the thing. After that happened, that guy told me, he said, I just was drawn something to your group and I just knew I had to be involved, so I just put my hand up right away. And I went, man, that was such a God setup. And he had spoken to my heart before, and I didn't know how it was all going to work or how it was going to go down. But here's the thing, in my heart, I just knew, you know, instead of thinking about, well, what if nothing happens? What if you do this and it doesn't happen? That wasn't even actually in my mind. It wasn't in my heart. I was thinking, you know, this is the type of place where Jesus would want to do something really bold. And so I just went for it. And I, you know, just kind of, you could say jump off the cliff or whatever. But here's what I learned. I learned, yes, what if nothing had happened? What if he didn't get healed? Then nothing would have happened. Nothing would change. The people that believed in God would have continued to believe in God. And the people that didn't believe in God would have continued to not believe in God. You know, maybe I'd be a little embarrassed or pride hurt. I don't know, but that's okay. But nothing would have changed. And so you could see that as maybe taking a risk for Jesus. And I got to tell you, from a different perspective, there was no risk. The only risk was not doing something bold for Jesus, because then nothing would have happened. I mean, then the potential for the change that did happen wouldn't even have been there. And so I just don't want to live my life just for the fear, with the thought of like, what if this doesn't happen? What if that doesn't happen? It's not about being crazy. It's not about trying to think of the most zany thing out there thing you can do. You know, faith comes through hearing. So it's just about being in connection with Jesus, hearing his voice, and then stepping out in what he says. And you know, it's just as important to just give someone a coat that needs a coat as it is to be in front of a university crowd and just saying, I'm going to challenge your belief system, and this guy, I'm going to lay hands on him and he's going to get healed. And the thing is, if we're not willing to step out and do what Jesus is wanting us to do, then yeah, things are going to stay the same. But even stepping out, it's low risk, because what are you going to do? Worst case scenario, nothing happens. Nobody changes. But best case scenario, a bunch of people give their life to Jesus, or at least they encounter a moment where they know that something real just happened. And you know what? That is what happened. A bunch of people gave their life to Jesus. More people got healed that night. I had people lined up afterwards wanting prayer for healing, and you know what's awesome? Jesus healed them all. And so it was a lot of fun, but it was no risk, because the only risk is not stepping out in Christ. And so let that encourage you. Let God speak to you. Whatever it is, just do it. You got nothing to lose.